What if I told you that millions of people drink green tea every single day and almost all of them are doing it wrong? Not wrong in a complicated scientific way, wrong in a way that is so simple, so easy to fix, that once you hear it, you will never make the same mistake again. And this mistake, it is quietly reducing every single benefit you think you are getting from your tea. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to completely change the way you drink green tea, and your body is going to thank you for it. Green tea has been consumed for centuries. Ancient cultures in China, Japan, and across Asia built entire rituals around it. They passed these traditions down through generations, not just because the tea tasted good, but because they noticed something. People who drank it regularly, prepared in a specific way, seemed to carry a kind of calm, steady energy, a vitality that others simply did not have. Now, modern science is finally catching up, and what researchers are finding is absolutely fascinating. Here is the foundation you need to understand before anything else. Your body runs on circulation. Every single cell in your body, from the tips of your fingers to the deepest parts of your brain, depends on your blood moving efficiently, carrying oxygen and nutrients to where they need to go. Think of your blood vessels like a river system. When those rivers are wide, flexible, and flowing freely, everything downstream thrives. But when they become stiff, narrow, or sluggish, like water trying to push through a clogged pipe, your entire body feels it. Your energy drops, your focus fades, your organs struggle, and here is the part most people never connect. The health of your blood vessels is directly influenced by what you eat and drink every single day. Now, according to organizations like the National Institutes of Health and Harvard Health Publishing, green tea contains an extraordinary group of plant compounds called polyphenols. And within that group, there is one compound in particular that scientists keep coming back to. EGCG, or epigallocatechin galate. Say that 5 times fast. But more importantly, understand what it does. EGCG has been studied extensively for its role in supporting cardiovascular wellness and protecting the cells that line your blood vessels from something called oxidative stress. Here is what oxidative stress actually means, because this word gets thrown around a lot without explanation. Inside your body, every single moment, there are unstable molecules called free radicals being produced. They are a natural byproduct of metabolism. They also come from pollution, poor sleep, processed food, and chronic stress. When free radicals build up faster than your body can neutralize them, they start damaging tissues. And one of the first places they attack? The inner lining of your blood vessels, a thin, incredibly important layer called the endothelium. Now pay close attention here, because this is the part that changes everything. Your endothelium is not just a passive wall, it is an active, living system that produces a signaling molecule called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is basically the body's natural command signal that tells blood vessel walls to relax and widen. When your endothelium is healthy and producing nitric oxide efficiently, your blood vessels expand when they need to. Blood flows smoothly, pressure stays balanced, and every organ in your body gets what it needs. But when the endothelium becomes damaged by oxidative stress, nitric oxide production drops. The vessels stay tight. Blood flow becomes restricted. And over time, that has consequences for your heart, your brain, your kidneys, for everything. This is why the antioxidants in green tea matter so much. They help protect the endothelium. They support that nitric oxide production. They keep those vessels flexible and responsive. The research supporting this is available through PubMed, the Mayo Clinic, and the Cleveland Clinic. Scientists have been studying this connection for decades, and the evidence keeps building. But here is the twist. Here is the part that almost nobody talks about. Even if you are drinking green tea every day, even if you are brewing it perfectly, a significant portion of those powerful EGCG compounds may never actually reach your bloodstream. They may never even get to the endothelium at all, because between your mouth and your blood, Vessels. There is a long, complex, chemically demanding journey called digestion. And digestion is not always kind to plant compounds. Think of it this way. Imagine you are sending a package full of fragile, irreplaceable contents across the country. The package has to pass through dozens of checkpoints, changing temperatures, rough handling, and chemical environments along the way. Some of those packages arrive intact, but many of them, they get damaged before they reach the destination. This is essentially what happens to the catechins in green tea as they travel through your digestive system. Stomach acid, enzymes, and shifting pH levels in the intestines can degrade these compounds before they are fully absorbed. Nutrition scientists call this the bioavailability problem, and it is real. So what is the solution? What is the missing ingredient that so few people know about? It starts with something you almost certainly already have in your kitchen, something bright, sharp, and full of life: citrus. Specifically, vitamin C-rich foods like lemons, limes, and oranges. Research discussed in nutrition journals and summarized through Harvard Health Publishing indicates that vitamin C can help stabilize polyphenols during digestion. The natural acids found in citrus fruits create a digestive environment that protects those delicate catechin compounds, those little packages, helping more of them survive the journey and actually enter your bloodstream. On top of that, the Mayo Clinic explains that vitamin C plays a direct role in maintaining healthy connective tissue, including the structural support surrounding blood vessel walls. So you are not just protecting the green tea compounds, you are also giving your vascular system an additional layer of nutritional support at the same time. Squeezing half a lemon into your green tea is one of the simplest, most evidence-informed upgrades you can make to your daily routine. That is it, half a lemon. Something that costs almost nothing, something that takes 3 seconds. And yet it fundamentally changes what your body is able to absorb from every single cup. But we are not stopping there, because there is more. Let us talk about ginger. If you have ever sipped ginger tea on a cold day and felt that deep spreading warmth moving through your chest and into your limbs, you have experienced something real. Ginger contains naturally occurring compounds called gingerols and shogaols, highly studied plant chemicals with both antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. According to the National Institutes of Health and Research available through PubMed, these compounds interact with signaling pathways related to inflammation and oxidative stress. Remember, oxidative stress is one of the primary enemies of endothelial health. So ginger is essentially reinforcing the same protective work that green tea's catechins are doing. They are working together, amplifying each other's effect. Ginger also supports digestion. The Cleveland Clinic notes that ginger has long been associated with easing digestive discomfort and supporting healthy gastrointestinal movement. When your digestion runs more smoothly, the entire absorption process improves, including how your body processes the plant compounds from your tea. And that warming sensation ginger creates, it comes from how its compounds interact with temperature and circulation receptors in the body. While that warmth is not a medical measurement, it reflects something real happening at the level of your physiology. Your body is responding. Now here is something beautiful about building a beverage like this, something that most productivity and wellness content completely misses. The ritual itself matters. When you take time to prepare a warm, intentional drink, when you slow down, breathe, and drink mindfully, you are actively working against chronic stress. And chronic stress is one of the most underestimated enemies of cardiovascular health. The Mayo Clinic and the World Health Organization both emphasize this. Stress activates your fight-or-flight system, which raises heart rate, tightens blood vessels, and over time can contribute to serious cardiovascular strain. A simple, calming daily ritual, a cup of tea made with intention, is not just pleasant, it is physiologically protective. Now let us add honey. Raw, minimally processed honey contains phenolic compounds, plant-derived antioxidants that contribute meaningfully to its nutritional profile. Research summarized by the NHS and studies listed on PubMed confirm this. Now, honey is still a form of sugar and needs to be used in moderation, but its complex composition, those enzymes, those antioxidants, that unique structure, sets it apart from refined sweeteners that offer nothing beyond empty calories. A small amount of raw honey in your tea adds not just sweetness, but an additional layer of antioxidant support. Within a balanced diet, it earns its place. And then there are the spices. Let us talk about cinnamon and turmeric, because these two are extraordinary. Cinnamon contains a compound called cinnamaldehyde, along with a rich array of polyphenols. According to research indexed in PubMed and information from the National Institutes of Health, these compounds are studied for their interaction with glucose metabolism. Here is why that matters for circulation. When blood sugar remains consistently elevated over time, it triggers a process called glycation, where sugar molecules essentially attach themselves to proteins in your blood vessel walls. This can gradually reduce vessel flexibility and impair how effectively your vascular system responds to circulation signals. Harvard Health Publishing explains this connection clearly. Cinnamon, within a balanced diet, is one of those spices that may help support healthier metabolic patterns, not as a medicine, but as part of a consistent nutritional approach, and it adds incredible warmth and depth to your tea. Turmeric is perhaps the most talked about spice in modern nutrition science. Its active compound, curcumin, has been the subject of hundreds of laboratory and clinical studies. According to summaries from PubMed and the NIH, curcumin interacts with molecular pathways that regulate the body's inflammatory response. Chronic, low-grade inflammation, the kind that quietly persists over months and years, has been linked to a wide range of health challenges, including those affecting the cardiovascular system. Turmeric, as part of a plant-rich diet, helps support a more balanced inflammatory environment in the body. But here is the critical detail about turmeric that most people do not know, and this might be the most practically important thing in this entire video. Curcumin has extremely low bioavailability when consumed alone. The body struggles to absorb it. Studies referenced in PubMed found that combining turmeric with black pepper, which contains a compound called piperine, can dramatically change this. Piperine appears to slow the breakdown of curcumin in the digestive tract and liver, allowing significantly more of it to be absorbed into the bloodstream. This is not a new discovery. Traditional cultures in South Asia have been combining these two spices in cooking for thousands of years. They did not have laboratories, but they had something else. Generations of careful observation, and they got it right. So let us zoom out for a moment and look at everything we have covered, because the picture that emerges is powerful. You start with green tea, rich in EGCG, protective for your endothelium, supportive of nitric oxide production, and filled with antioxidants that fight oxidative stress. You add citrus, which shields those precious compounds through digestion and boosts their absorption into your bloodstream. You add ginger, reinforcing antioxidant protection, supporting healthy digestion, and creating that warming sensation that signals your body's circulation systems are engaged. You add a touch of raw honey, natural antioxidants, gentle sweetness, real nutritional complexity. And you finish with cinnamon and turmeric with black pepper, supporting metabolic balance, reducing inflammatory burden, and protecting blood vessel health from multiple directions at once. This is not magic. This is not a miracle cure. This is nutritional synergy, the science of how compounds work together more powerfully than they ever could alone. And it is exactly the principle that guided traditional cultures for centuries before modern science had the tools to explain why. But, and this is crucial, none of this works in isolation. The World Health Organization, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Mayo Clinic, Harvard Health, the Cleveland Clinic, all of these institutions say the same thing consistently and clearly. Long-term wellness is built through patterns, not products. A cup of tea, however well prepared, cannot compensate for chronic sleep deprivation, a sedentary lifestyle, or unmanaged stress. What it can do is become a meaningful part of a bigger picture, a daily anchor that supports your hydration, delivers plant compounds your body can actually use, replaces sugary drinks, and creates a moment of intentional calm in an otherwise overwhelming day. Hydration itself is something the Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic emphasize as directly connected to circulation. Many people are mildly dehydrated most of the time without realizing it. And dehydration affects blood viscosity, energy levels, and how efficiently nutrients move through the body. Replacing even 1 or 2 sugary or caffeinated drinks daily with a well-prepared cup of green tea can shift your fluid balance in a meaningful way. Sleep, too, is non-negotiable. According to the National Health Service and the CDC, poor sleep patterns influence blood pressure, hormone regulation, appetite, and the body's ability to repair and maintain vascular tissue overnight. An evening ritual, a warm, caffeine-free herbal variation of this kind of beverage, can signal to your nervous system that it is time to slow down, reducing cortisol, easing tension, and preparing your body for the deep, restorative sleep that no supplement can replace. Now, one final but important thing. Everything discussed in this video is for general educational purposes only. It is drawn from publicly available research and information from reputable health organizations. It is not medical advice. It is not a diagnosis or a treatment. Your individual health situation, your medications, your existing conditions, your age, all of these matter enormously. Before making significant changes to your diet, please speak with a qualified healthcare professional. The NIH, the NHS, and the Mayo Clinic all encourage treating nutrition content online as informational, not prescriptive. Use this as a starting point for curiosity, not a replacement for professional guidance. What I hope you take from everything shared here is this: the way you consume green tea genuinely matters. The ingredients you combine it with can meaningfully influence how much of its beneficial compounds your body actually absorbs. The ritual surrounding it can reduce stress, support hydration, and anchor healthier habits throughout your day. And all of this together, not any single ingredient, not any single cup, is how real, lasting wellness is built. One consistent, intentional choice at a time. If this video opened your eyes to something you did not know before, if you are going to try that squeeze of lemon in your next cup of green tea, drop a comment below and tell me. I genuinely want to know. And if you think someone in your life needs to hear this, share this video with them. It might be the simplest thing you do for someone today that actually makes a difference. Hit that like button if this was valuable to you. It takes 1 second and it tells me to keep making content like this. Subscribe if you want to keep learning things about your health that most people simply never get told. And I will see you in the next one because we are just getting started.